We're also going to be looking at something interesting that our own Karen Drew has been working on for weeks. The investigative team has been live with us all morning, talking us through some of the spots on 96 where drivers are more likely to crash, digging through 5 years of crash data. We revealed the fourth worst spot for crashes. That's I-96 Express to the M39 Southfield Freeway interchange. And the third spot, Greenfield Road to Wyoming Avenue. The second worst spot, 96 eastbound from just before Novi Road to the I-696 M5 interchange. I have a group of people sitting around me, and every single one of them is nodding their head. Local 4 investigator Karen Drew is back live in the mobile newsroom looking at the #1 spot. Not a spot you want to be in, Karen.
Oh my gosh, no you don't. I just want to say we have made it. We've been on the road for like 4 hours driving through all these crash zones, and we've seen a couple people getting pulled over. We've seen some tie-ups, but we've made it. But we were really intensely paying attention because that's exactly what you need to do because it gets confusing. All of these zones, these top 4 spots, get confusing because of merging. I want to show you the top spot after going through 5 years of data that sees the most crashes on I-96. Take a look. So we are headed into the spot that sees the most crashes on I-96.
We went through 5 years of crash data. I-96 between 7 Mile to the M1496 interchange. Adding to the confusion, this stretch of I-96 shares a name with I-275.
I actually sometimes get nervous driving this area because I think I'm going to make a wrong decision at the last second.
Between 2019 through 2023, there were 978 crashes in this 2-mile stretch. So why are there more crashes here? Well, it's a little complicated, literally.
First of all, you got a lot of traffic that exits at 8 Mile. Then the rest of your traffic going south between 7 Mile down to the interchange with 96 to the east, M14 to the west. And those ramps split.
Do you know which lane you need to be in? Well, that's great, but you still need to keep an eye out for drivers who don't know where they're going.
So if you're not sure where your road is, you go from either the far left. Turns out you need to be on the far right, which is 4 lanes over, and we get the side swipes, we get the rear ends, or do you stay on 275 to keep going south? So you really have 3 choices at that point, and that's why we do get a lot of crashes.
It's those last-minute mistakes that can cause a crash. There's a breakdown of the data. October saw the most crashes with 108. April saw the least with 70. Crashes were more likely to occur on a Friday, least likely to occur on a Sunday. And 5 o'clock in the evening was the time of day that saw the most crashes.
All right, back here live driving on I-96. So we've made it through all of those 4 zones. We're actually going to be approaching Southfield soon. So on the way back to Detroit, we're going to hit 2 zones that see the most crashes. So we've got 2 in the city. We've got 1 in Plymouth. We've got 1 in Novi. We've got all that data compiled. If folks want to take a deep dive, they can look at our digital investigation, Nick. But the key here, which MDOT says, is obviously pay attention, get off your phone, don't only depend on GPS. I did ask, could you put more signs up? And they said they have done studies where there is a level where there's too many signs. It gets too confusing. So sometimes they want to do those placards on the ground. That seems to be pretty successful. But I guess that makes sense because I sometimes see all these signs. I don't know if you do. And then I'm like, wait, express, local, right, left.
Right.
It can get overwhelming.
Yeah, sometimes
right?
you just don't know where you are, where you're going. You know, Karen, I noticed something in all your reporting this morning. You've used the word crash versus accident all morning long. And I think that was on purpose.
Yes, that was on purpose. When I was talking with MDOT and I was talking with Michigan State Police particularly, they said, do not use the word accident. Accident almost infers that like it can be avoided per se. And 99% of these are driver error. It is when the person's not paying attention, they hurry up and move over, they hit another car. It's not necessarily because of the construction of the road and all of these zones, it wasn't because like a curve, because sometimes we've seen that, or a steep incline. It really is driver error. So they said, don't use the word accident. It's not an accident, it's a crash. And we have a responsibility as drivers for ourselves, for our kids in the back seat, and for the people we're driving with to pay better attention. Because now we know those 4 zones, so we need to pay a little bit more attention.
Yeah, we sure
so
do. Karen, thank you so much for all your work this morning and for driving for nearly 4 or 5 hours straight here. Take a break, go find a bathroom somewhere, okay?
I was just going to say, I've had so much coffee. Good luck to the people I encountered today.
All right, Kim. All right, Karen, thank you. Our investigative team did a deep digital dive on the crash data. Scan that QR code on your screen. That's going to take you to clickondetroit.com, where you can get breakdowns on the types of crashes, worst times of day, and the days with the most crashes.